Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner, Blue Star 899 here along with fellow Team Tri-Fighters member
Nation Duelist.
And I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Gold Paladin deck, which is the one that you guys saw against my friend's Revenger deck in the last video. This is something I've been playing around with for the last couple of weeks. Learn how it plays, it's Prominence Glare, and it's just hella fun. I don't know if you could consider this to be the best deck in the format, but it's by far the most fun, and it's like a lot of people have just been gravitating towards. Like, I guess the Liberator bandwagon is kind of huge here.
I did it first.
I think this is largely because this deck plays a lot like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck in that it just goes off with combos and then it tries to do shit, and it's really fun when it gets going. So let's just get down to it. So first starter is Flaming Passion Liberator Guido. His ability is really good. I might actually consider running 2 of these at some point. When your Vanguard's in Legion, you can put them into the Soul, check the top 3 cards of your deck, and then Superior Call a Liberator, and then you shuffle your deck. That's important because your Vanguard and Rearguard top check shuffle call things. Wow, cannot talk today. But basically, your Vanguard and your Rearguards have the ability to look at the top 4, and then you call one, and then you put them on the bottom of the deck. This guy shuffles, so after you've done a whole bunch of your chain calls, you use this guy to finish it up so that you shuffle your deck and you get a chance to check crits and shit. Because that's how this deck wins, is you get your opponent with 3 or 4 damage, and then you go into this guy. Bluish Flame Liberator Prominence Glare, and this artwork is just freaking badass.
Yeah, they did a really good job on Glare.
Glare has 2 effects. The most prominent one you'll be using here is his Legion skill. When you Superior Call a unit from your deck, you can counterblast 1 and discard a Bluish Flame unit. So either himself, Bluish Flame Liberator Prominence Core, or Bluish Flame Liberator Percival. And he gains a crit and the Glory Maelstrom effect if your opponent cannot call grade 1 or higher units from their hand to the Guardian Circle. So it's basically a Degracel, except this guy has another effect where you can counterblast 1, target one of your rear guards, kill it, and then you check the top 4 and then Superior Call a Liberator. It's helpful for putting units into the drop zone, or when you have things like grade 0s called from your drop zone because you're playing against Shadow Paladin Witches, what have you. And he's just your good finisher. He doesn't power up by himself though, so he's 20 base in Legion, but you have Brunos in here to power him up to huge levels. I've got him about to 40 to 50k. He can't swing for as big as Degracel, but this is a far more dangerous deck than them, I think. And then for the additional grade 3s, 4 copies of Percival. I am running him over Prominence Core because I don't have 4 cores, and this guy doesn't cost any counterblast when you're Legion. He's a straight free Legion, so you just Legion, look at the top 3, top 4 call units, and he's 23 on offense in Legion, 18 when not in Legion. He's just a good backup Vanguard. Then for the grade 2s, I am running first 4 copies of Glare's Legion Mate. This is a Regulation Liberator Aglavale, and he has 2 effects. First is when you attack with this guy on Rearguard and you have a Bluish Flame Vanguard, so if they're grade 3s, he gains 2k, making him an 11k, so this with a 7 behind him is 18, magic numbers. This with a 5 behind him is 16, also a magic number. And his second effect is when you Superior Call him from the deck, you Soul Blast a Liberator to check the top 5 cards of your deck. Add a Bluish Flame Liberator, so one of these, and then you shuffle your deck, making him also really good after you've done a whole bunch of your top call plays. And then 4 of the best Liberator grade 2, or Gold Paladin grade 2 for the time being. Oath Liberator Aglavale. When you call him, counterblast 1, check the top 3, Superior Call a unit, then put them the rest on the bottom of the deck. Like, this guy is just good in every Liberator deck. Gold Paladin, I mean, not Gold Paladins, but Blue Flames, Blaster Blade Liberator, Alfred, Walfred, Monarchs, Gancelot Turbo. Like,
whatever takes your fancy.
Yep. And I actually just accidentally skipped over them, but I'm also, for the last ones, 3 copies of Liberator, Lawful Trumpeter. Simple 9k.
Really good card.
Yeah, when you perform Legion, you check the top 3 of your deck, and then Superior Call a Liberator and put the bottom on top. The rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck. Wow, cannot talk. Really good with with Prominence Glare, actually, because you just need an open rearguard slot for this. You Legion with this, you activate this guy's effect, call another one, and then Glare just goes off. Counterblast 1, discard. That way you don't have to like burn 2 counterblasts with this guy to get his skill off. And it's also pretty good with Glare, with Percival, because it's a straight up +2. And then for the grade 1s, 4 perfect guards. I'm running the 1 Halo Liberator because it's all I got for that. Like, yeah. And then 4 of the most expensive common in the game, main rating Liberator Bruno.
Good.
When you superior call from the deck, he gains 3k. Well, look at what this deck does. Almost all these cards here superior call in some manner. So he, behind Glare, is what lets you win games because you can start chain calling. I got this guy up to plus... what was it? I got up to 6 calls off of this guy, so that's 3k times 6. Yeah, that's 18 behind your Glare, so that's just disgusting. And he can get even bigger, but yeah, he's just what allows you to just hit big numbers. Him with your rear guards is pretty nice too. 21k columns if you just superior called once. 4 copies of Fast Chase Liberator Josephus. So I hear Shadow Paladins have this nice little play where you put, what you will call him, into the soul. You know, that guy. Yeah, him.
Oh,
you put him into the soul, call out 2 sword breakers, soul blast 2, draw 2. Well,
Judge Bow.
Yeah.
Judge Bow, that's it.
Yeah, why Judge Bow when you can just call this the guy from your deck, soul blast, and draw a card? Like, he helps you build advantage in this deck, which is
also he won you a game today.
Yeah, crazy game actually. Yeah, he's one of the things that allow Liberators to build advantage. A thing that a lot of other decks may be lacking is like draw power, being able to like build a board without very little, because you don't have to invest a lot of cards.
You're able to reclaim your resources really quickly with that deck. You lose your board really quickly, but you can just make it back just like that.
Which is really important when you have Kagero and what they can do.
And witches.
Witches not so much, but yeah, Kagero burns away your board, you just remake it. And then lastly, 2 copies of Physical Force Liberator Zoran. When you call this guy from the deck, you put him into the soul. Look at the top 3. He feels Josephus and Oath Liberator, Regulation Liberator Aglavale. And then for Trigs, I am running 8 crits, not 12. I think that's too yellow. Instead, I am going... Whoops, I dropped a card, actually. But I think that's too yellow. Instead, I'd much rather run 4 copies of Catch Call Liberator. When you superior call this guy from the deck, you can put him on the bottom of your deck, check the top 3, call out any Liberator other than himself from one of those, and then put the rest of into your bottom, and then you shuffle your deck. A, he's a deck shuffle. B, he's another superior call for your Bruno.
Just like Zoran or stuff like that.
And C, stand triggers are really good in here because your rear guards get big, so they can swing, they guard that. You swing with your Vanguard, they guard that. So you've already eaten a lot of resources. Then you hit this guy, you restand your regard, and you swing again. Like, stand triggers are really good in the late part of the game, especially when you get your opponent to 5 damage because they took a Glare hit. And then 4 copies of the heal trigger. So that is the deck itself. It's really, really fun. I highly recommend people giving this deck a try. And while this is pretty much as good as golds are going to get for the time being, when we eventually get stride support for this, I can only imagine just how more disgusting it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, the 1G unit in BTG2 is an on-hit. You check the top 4 and superior call a gold paladin.
That just sounds gross.
Yeah, given that these guys, Legion and strides carry the name, so you'll have a Liberator Vanguard, so you can just superior call a Aglovale, who then superior calls a Josephus, so you already got a +3 off of your stride drive check, and then you get another draw. So I think some variant of Liberators will be really good when we get stride, but that'll be then. As it is, though, I'm pretty much done with the deck for now. I'm going to be swapping it with Mega Monkey's Link Jokers, so I can build Blaster Joker or something along those lines, so stay tuned for that, and I'll also get some other deck profiles for my friends up at some point. So we've got a lot of decks in BT17 almost close to done. So hopefully then I'll have stuff for you. So yeah, that's all I can really say here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Liberators are fun.
Yeah, they're honestly the one Vanguard deck I've had the most fun with in this game. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. It's so much fun to play Liberators.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Until the next time, this is Bluestar 89 & Co. Jacking out.